Supposed to be a full moon tonight. I know it was one last night. It seemed like it was pretty full last night, but I don't know. I enjoy looking at the full moon. And this is the perfect weather right now to really take it all in. What you been doing? What you been doing? Watching TV? Watching all my favorite shows? That's okay. Especially if you was sitting there with that little leg movement thing that gets you to move your legs like you're on a bicycle. Sitting bicycle. That's what I call it. That's perfect if you're doing that. Yeah. What else you do? Because sometimes that's all we need to be asked. What you doing? How you doing? You know, communication goes a long way. Long way. And sometimes part of communication is silent too, you know? It's a silent aspect, so letting people be heard. Sometimes that's all we need. I'm sure it's a couple of you sitting at home probably saying, yeah, all I need to be is heard. It'd be nice to have somebody just hear what I have to say. Why won't nobody listen to what I have to say? Yeah. Yep. And somebody else might be out there, this has happened most of their life. They might feel like they've never been heard. You know? It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. I'm sure somebody out there can relate to what I just said. Me. So what you do about it? What do you do about it when you feel like you are not being heard? You know it's not a good feeling. Why would you continue to let that happen? What can you do about it? I would say the number one thing I had to learn too, know that you value or know your value, more importantly. But know you are of value to be heard. Why would you minimize anything you have to say? Because you're feeling that way. You're having those thoughts. But it's not a good feeling, you know? So, you know, but it's important. You have to be heard. Energetic wise, it does a lot to you when you're not being heard. You know, it could be the cause of maybe some aches and pains you have, some, you know, ailments you've been having for a while that might be a little chronic, you know. Yeah. Because, you know, that impacts all up in here, your throat chakra, because you just not even being able to be expressive, you know. Not even being able to be expressive. And that's all an inside thing. I'm going to tell you. You know, I can tell you some from experience. That's an inside thing. When you're not being able to be expressive. Yeah. And that's you holding so much. You holding so much inside. It's hurting you. You know? And, you know, some may know exactly what I'm talking about. And probably sitting there like, yeah, I know that feeling. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta let it, gotta work through that. Gotta work through it. You know? Because you'd be amazed the difference. You will be amazed. But it's taking them steps. You know? No. You know, you're basically saying what everybody else say, anybody, is more important than what I have to say. And most of what we say is what we stand for. So what are you standing for? You know, that's a whole nother, you know, way to go. Do you have boundaries, or you just loosey-goosey out there? Let people just stump the yard on you. You know? No. You know? So you got to really get a handle on that. What you say is important. What you say is important. What's that saying? Closed mouths don't get fed. You know? Many of us can't read minds. You know, so, and, you know, for someone who's feel like they're not very expressive, that's a skill you need to build. Don't just like, well, I don't like confrontation. I don't, you know, I don't confront people. And it's not all about that. I just can't say no, and I just give, and, you know. And all those things are great and wonderful in moderation. But many of those sayings was demeaning you, made you less important. Yeah, made you less important. When you shouldn't be. You number uno. You number uno. Number uno. So, got to work through that. See, we sit around all day. Sit around all day. Ask you what you doing. Watching my favorite show. And I just had a whole conversation of work that somebody could be doing on themselves to maybe, just maybe, improve who you are. It could change your world. Got time? Find time to watch your favorite show. Give up some of that time. Give up a little of that time. It ain't easy. But what is the alternative? And some of us don't know because all we know is one way. And many been doing that way for 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, some years. you know? Dare. Try to do something different. And sometimes all it takes is one thing, one change. One change. And you get on a spiral. Is that something to be scared of? No. No. Just one. So, New Year coming up. Perfect opportunity if you believe in, setting those type of goals. But, it's whatever gets you moving in that direction, But it is important. I'm going to say it again. You need to be heard. It's important. You're important. You just as important as anybody, and I mean anybody, on this planet, Earth, universe, whatever you want to label it. Just as important. Just as important. Yeah. So snap out of that. Snap out of that. Let that go. Figure it out. Give up just a little bit of TV time and do some me time. Okay? Me time. And see. Just see. Just see. And if it don't feel different for you, then hey, you can fall right back in line. But give it a try. All right. So, it comes to a point that you gotta make yourself important. However and whatever kind of way that means for you. You give up so much. Lifetime of stories, boy. Stories. All kind of people. And you hardly hear the you part in those stories. It's always somebody else. He, she, her, they. Good. Oftentimes can't see your joy throughout that whole photo album. So, hey, it's time though. So I'm gonna stop right there, and just a little bit of inspiration there. But it's time to stop all the shenanigans. Stop all the shenanigans and pay attention to yourself. Alrighty.